Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today on Taladus Plays, we're going to do a little recap. While I do that, I'm going to just play a little bit of Solo Peak in the background here, but I'm going to be talking about the channel itself, how my first couple weeks have been as a YouTube gamer, and what I'm hoping to accomplish moving forward. So, let's go ahead and start up this run. About 2 weeks ago, I decided to start my YouTube gaming channel, Taladus Plays, and it's been going pretty well so far, actually. I've got about a dozen subscribers as of the filming of this video. It's been 14 days almost on the dot as of today, and I'm very grateful for that. Honestly, a subscriber a day is amazing when you're just starting out like I am. I know it takes a long time for people to kind of get momentum on YouTube, so I am very much appreciative of anybody who's been showing interest in the channel, and especially if they come back. Return viewers are just amazing to have, and that's kind of the core of YouTube itself, from what I've seen. And on that note, I've been doing my homework. I'm checking out a lot of videos online to see, what works for other people, what's a good idea to use in your videos. Trying to make videos a bit more accessible. I've adjusted some of the lengths, some of the runtimes of my videos. This one itself, I'll probably switch up the runtime a little. Let's see, I started off with Peak. That's the game I'm playing right now. It's definitely not the first game I've played, but it's the first one that kind of inspired me to actually start making some video content. I noticed people are having just a lot of fun with this online. And it's just very, very easy to jump into a game and have a couple laughs, maybe have some wacky stuff happen. And the community on this game just seems to be very friendly, outgoing, and just a really good time to play with in general. I've seen a lot of positivity, the cooperative nature of the game. At its absolute worst, the trolling in this game is pretty minimal, and it's only really happening to people if they invite it, from what I've seen. You've got to kind of want to be trolled or be in a lobby with people that are going to have a little bit of kooky fun. So that doesn't even bother me too much. What am I playing? Well, like I said, Peak was the first game I started on, but I knew immediately when I started the channel that I would want to mix in some of my other favorite games. Kerbal Space Program was a clear contender for another game that I would put quite a bit of hours into. I've played tons of it already. I'm pretty familiar with it, and that's what I've got on my channel as sort of a Let's Play tutorial series. Again, I don't go into as much depth as some of the professional YouTubers who are, in some cases, literal physicists or astronauts teaching people how to play that game. I don't claim to be that good at it, but I hope that maybe my interpretation of Kerbal Space Program can lend a little bit to people who are, looking for something explained in layman's terms. Another game I've decided to play a little bit of, I have a couple videos out for a fairly new game. It came out a couple years ago called Shadows of Doubt. It's like a detective noir mystery game. It's voxel graphics, so it's a little different than a lot of games look, but I like the style of it. I had a lot of fun. I made a couple of kind of gumshoe videos about solving a murder case in that game. And it didn't exactly blow up. I know the audience for Shadows of Doubt isn't really that massive. Again, before I dive into a new game on YouTube, I try to do a little bit of research and see what the existing audience looks like. And also, is there a need? Sometimes you want to pick a game that isn't super well known. I've tried a couple other videos that'll be coming out fairly soon. I have one for Engineer that should be launching actually right about the time that I'm recording this audio. Engineer video should come out. And that, again, is just a little demo I tried out for a game. It's kind of an engineering simulator. It's a kind of a wacky, medieval-themed engineering game where you build contraptions. And to that end, what kind of content am I hosting on the channel? Well, if you've poked around, you've probably noticed it's simulation is the best word that I can think of. It's all simulation games, whether it be space simulation, climbing simulation like you're watching right now, or even a detective simulator. And another game that I really enjoy is Planet Coaster. I have not gotten the sequel yet, but I have the original Planet Coaster. I might start putting up videos on that because I really, really liked Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day. Planet Coaster was a really good sort of spiritual successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon that I've been having a lot of fun with. Recording has been also a bit of a learning curve. I started off with just using Steam's built-in recording. My microphone audio was attached to the game audio itself, which at first I didn't think twice about. I thought, that's fine, what's the big deal? I realized later that being able to remix my audio and the game's audio was actually very ideal. So how has it been? Like I said, recording was a little tricky. I started off with Steam, just doing raw recordings. Basically, it was like a 45-minute clip of a game. So all the audio was embedded, and it was functional, but I needed a little bit more control over what I was doing. So I switched to OBS. OBS is a very common software a lot of gamers use to record, and I figured out pretty quickly how to separate the audio into a couple channels. So I have one channel that records my game audio, including anybody else who's speaking in-game, and I have a separate audio channel that records my actual microphone input. Let's say I used a Remedy bulb and it blew out everyone's eardrums because they're very loud for some reason. Well, I can turn that down while not affecting my speaking voice if I'm doing some very super important commentary on my video game playing at that moment. My editing software that I'm currently using is CapCut. Again, free software, pretty easy to use. I've used similar things in the past, so the learning curve on that was actually not too bad for me. Sometimes it's just a little bit dull, especially on a rewatch when I'm editing. I need to fill in some of these quieter gaps with some music. So for that, Pixabay is one of my favorite sites. They have a lot of good royalty-free stuff that you can use on YouTube videos without generating any sort of copyright strike. And of course, the YouTube audio library itself has been very instrumental, pun intended, in getting me some songs to use on the videos. And the great thing about the YouTube audio library is that if it says it will not create a copyright strike, you could pretty much take that to the bank, because that's the same people who are checking for your copyright strikes. Okay, what else? Types of videos. So I started off with long form, kind of standard YouTube videos, the kind everybody would post. And then I discovered shorts. I had seen them on my YouTube homepage for a while and didn't think too much of them. I figured it was, vertical format videos. You know, that's not really anything earth-shatteringly new. But I decided to give it a shot and make a couple myself. And I gotta say, they are kind of addictive. When you first start making shorts, you get, at least in my experience, a nice little pop of viewership. Sometimes 400 to 500 views, maybe up to 1,000 views within the first few hours of posting the video. Now, at first I thought, wow, this is amazing. That's going to be my ticket to greatness on YouTube. But I didn't realize that the short views don't count quite the same as a long format video does. So, while I still post shorts, I sort of rededicated myself to getting those long form videos going, because I know that that's really what I want to build my subscriber base on, is long form videos. And those include, anything that's, over 2 to 3 minutes, where it's a let's play, a tutorial, maybe a compilation. I do like to do sort of a funny moments compilations where I take basically a full run of Peak, and what might be an hour and a half or almost 2 hours worth of video, I'll try to condense it down into about, 5 to 6 minutes of funny moments, people falling to their doom and whatnot. And at the end of the day, the best litmus test for good content is what would you actually sit down and watch. So I just thought about, what do I watch? And that's what I try to replicate when I'm making a video. I am extremely happy with what I've accomplished so far. It's only been a couple weeks. Like I said, I think I started making my first video at the end of July. Posted it on August 1st, was the very first day that I actually posted anything on YouTube. It's been a lot of fun. I didn't actually think it would be this fun, trying to kind of grow my own community of gaming. I've been a part of several gaming communities throughout my life, and they've been very fun every time I do, so I decided it was time to start one of my own. Well, if you made it this far into the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Hopefully this will be the first of many updates on my YouTube gaming journey. Until next time, thank you for watching Taladus Plays.